Let me talk about technical debt. This is a term, a metric used to kind of get a quick metric on how a software development project is going. And so this kind of tracks the growing gap between the product in reality and in a perfect world. So, there are some things that you would do where maybe you'd invest a little bit more time up ahead of, and you'd spend a little bit more time before you got to market, but then you'd have a much cleaner product. And that would be basically accepting little technical debt. So if you accept absolutely no technical debt and everything is architected and designed and there's no deadlines essentially, you'll get to the market late, if ever. If you take on too much technical debt, and say you're basically taking shortcuts or you're going to kind of compromise your market release time for your maintenance, your product will be unstable, it might not scale well, so if you end up kind of coming out and you're providing the software as a service, maybe when you tested it on a small number of users, everything worked well, but as you scale that up, and you're going to see that it's going to become unstable, slow, and impossible to maintain. And so it's a helpful concept to sell product investors or stakeholders in your organization on spending some extra money on development. So a little bit more now will save some money later. Maintenance over a life cycle of 20 years may outstrip the initial development costs if you take on too much technical debt. And this is a really good way to kind of have that dialogue with someone in your C-level staff, so maybe a CFO or a CEO, if you're building the software, to say, okay, here's the kind of the trade-off, how much debt, so to speak, are you willing to take on? And what's interesting about this as well is just like your mortgage or your car loan, it kind of grows over time as your developers come in and out of your organization. Bits of that kind of inherent knowledge of how that application works is going to leave, and it's going to get a little bit more expensive, and you're not going to have it running on the latest hardware because it might not support certain things. And so it's going to kind of grow at a fairly constant rate, but it's something to kind of keep in mind, just like having it on the books for your fiscal debt.